I don't know about you, but springtime seems to be a time where our family is extra busy. It seems there are always graduations, there are always recitals, and end of the school year activities and extra travel. And so we just returned from a trip to see our oldest daughter play in the Sound of Music, and we needed to reset our farmhouse kitchen. It was in real need of some attention. I like this quote from Elizabeth Elliot. It says, "Love sees what ought to be done and does it." Elizabeth Elliot. So as homemakers, we love our families and we see the needs. We see the clothes that need to be washed. We see the dishes that need to be washed. We see the things that need to be tidied. And we do it because we love our families. And hopefully we love our home and our environment and are cultivating a space that we love to be, a place that is warm and inviting and comfortable. Not elaborate, not perfect, but a place that is welcoming. And being a homemaker truly is a dream come true for me. It's what I wanted to be. I was the little girl that was always playing with my baby dolls and playing house. Truly, I consider being a wife, a mother, and a homemaker a great privilege and a great gift. When I have a lot of house cleaning to do, I like to prioritize the kitchen because my kitchen really affects how I feel about my whole house. If I go and I can't wash something off, I can't work with the sink, I feel stressed by that. I need my sinks to be clean so that I can rinse things off and keep things moving. The kitchen is sort of the heart of the home where so much meal planning, meal preparation, and family time happens. And I feel like everything just feels more under control when my kitchen is under control. So many of our daily tasks as homemakers are quite mundane and must be done again and again. Daily, we wash dishes and we empty dishwashers and we put dishes away. We, in our household, have to be doing laundry all throughout the week just to keep up. It seems like there's always a mess to sweep up. For those of you who have little children, there's diapers and boo-boos to kiss and just these daily things. And sometimes we can wonder, do these things really matter? And I want to encourage you that they do matter ever so much. Elizabeth Elliot is known for a poem that she would share. It talks about doing the next right thing. The basic idea of the poem is that when we're overwhelmed and we have so much on our plate, we should look around and simply do the next right thing. Be faithful in the next task that is a priority. This is something that we can pray about and ask the Lord to help us to discern the next right thing. If we look at the overall picture of everything that is coming at us, of all the demands on our time and energy, we can become so overwhelmed. But if we focus on simply doing the next right thing, it can help pull us through times and seasons that seem very intense. For Mother's Day weekend, my mother and I got to go on a shopping trip to Ikea, and she bought me some goodies. It's so fun to go to a place like Ikea and just go on a treasure hunt and see what you find, just unique things, and we had a lot of fun there together. One thing that she bought for me is a glass canister, and what I really loved about it is that it has the wooden lid that goes on top. So this will be added to my glass canister collection. I really have a lot of just random different canisters because I collect them at thrift stores or when I see a good deal. And I did not have one with the wooden lids. So I was excited for that. And then, aren't these adorable? These are like little water or juice or iced tea vessels. We got 2 of these, and they have this little clasp up here. So I'm excited. I can definitely see some strawberry lemonade or something like that in these 2 vessels. And a similar thing is this right here that has this little clasp and this little stopper that opens. I have seen other YouTubers making like kefir water that's supposed to be good for your gut health. So that's what I'm thinking with this. I was really excited for this find. It's 2 little mesh bags. One is larger than the other, but my idea is to hang this in my pantry on my canning shelves and put the canning lid rings in them. I could even put like the actual lids and then the rings in the bigger one, and maybe have them hanging from a hook on my canning shelves. I've had a struggle with what to do with all of these canning rings that you take off once you process the jars, and there's such a plethora of them that I own, and I've had a hard time knowing how to store them. And I thought this might be cute just to have them, maybe the lid and the ring hanging on my canning shelves in the pantry. Also, this little funnel will go with this if I'm making some kind of kefir water or natural soda or something like that. And this was one of those finds that I didn't know this existed, or I wasn't looking for it at all, but it's a strainer, and I think it might be good when I come in from the garden with green beans or purple whole peas or baby tomatoes, to put a whole lot of those in here and to be able to rinse through the holes through the strainer part really well. And I think this may be a gardener's best friend in a month or 2 when we start harvesting. I don't know about you, but sometimes I just have a hard time finding one of these measuring tapes. It seems like it's something that, everybody needs a measuring tape, and so it gets taken to the barn, it gets taken outside, it gets taken all over the house, upstairs and downstairs. And sometimes I just need a measuring tape. So my mom and I found these, and she got me one and herself one, and maybe it's silly, but I was attracted to the blue color of the tape. It's kind of a Wedgwood blue, and it was only $1.99 at Ikea. So we were excited to find these. The next things that I'm going to show you are for our vintage kitchen that we have been building out for almost 2 years now, and it's basically done, but we still have these little finishing touches. So I wanted to have a gold or brass rod at the end of one of the cabinets that I could hang things like a pot holder or a dish towel or a tiny basket of flowers, things like that, just more for the decor. And I was so excited to find this one in a gold color, and so that's gonna go on the beadboard on the side of one of our cabinets. So I'm really excited and got it home, and it fits, and I thought this was a neat find and an unexpected one, and one step closer to completely finishing this vintage cottage farmhouse kitchen. And then another thing that's been in the plans all along with this kitchen is to have under one of the cabinets to have a rack with little pegs that I can do the same thing. I could hang a vintage teacup or a little tiny miniature decor piece or a little dish rag or something. And so you really can't see, but these are, I believe, pure oak, and the little pegs on them are a little more small scale, a little more miniature and tiny, which I really liked the look of rather than full-size pegs. And so my plan is to hang these side by side on my backsplash under the cabinet, and to have a place
to hang those little decor pieces, and I will definitely try to show that once that is up. So that's what I came home with from Ikea, and most of all, it was just the joy of being with my mother and enjoying that time just as mother and daughter on Mother's Day weekend. I am so thankful for her. She has been such a blessing in my life, and we had a good time. So if you haven't been to Ikea, it is a fun place to go look around and just find little random things like these bags, little things that are at a good price and maybe just something different, something you're not expecting. So I really enjoyed that trip with my mom.
On this particular weekend, when we were trying to reset and catch up from being out of town and just needing to reset our home, my husband also needed to work on this drainage from the new kitchen. We have not had the drainage complete, and it's been okay. The water has been running out from the farm sink out a pipe on the side of the house, but we wanted to get that extended and buried under the ground, and so that the water would come out not so close to the house. So he was working on that project as I was working on cleaning up inside. My husband really blesses our family every Saturday morning by either making pancakes, waffles, or occasionally he will make muffins. And oftentimes we will have extra left over, and I just like to bag it up in a Ziploc bag and be able to put it in the freezer. And this is really handy on those days where a child is looking for something quick and easy for their breakfast. One of the regular tasks that has to be continually done at our farmhouse is refilling the plastic bag dispensers. With a farm and a garden and a large family, we can run through these, and so this is just one of those little tasks that has to be stayed on top of. There is a beautiful book called Mother Culture written by Karen Andriola. I want to share just a little portion of the book. She said much of what a mother at home does seems to disappear at the blink of an eye. A mother guides and corrects her children. The next day, she does it again. Countertops get cluttered again. Shelves and baseboards get dusty again. She moves mounds of clothes and towels through a wash-dry-fold cycle. She changes sheets, but the beds look the same when made. For an hour she prepares a meal. Within 10 minutes it is consumed. Then she is at the sink washing dishes that have been washed countless times before. Can you relate to this, dear homemaker? I certainly can. And what is it that really gives us the motivation to press on day after day? I believe it is in the sense of feeling the call that we are called to be homemakers, that we are called to love and serve our families, that it is a privilege. So much of it has to do with our attitude, that we see this as a gift and as something that really matters for generations to come. We have been ordering from the Melaleuca Wellness Company for several years now. It is a program where once you join, you get deep discounts. Anyone, I think, can go to Melaleuca's website and just order, but to get the member discounts, you need to sign up under someone, and then you need to place an order every month, which we just signed up under a friend, and we place a minimum order every month. I just appreciate that I know that these products, whether cleaning products or things like shampoo or snacks or vitamins, hand soaps, chapstick, medicine, all kinds of things, that these things are safe and clean items for our household and not harmful to our health. I have loved my oil dispenser that I keep by my stove, but I recently sadly broke the one that I had. But the good news is these can be found at stores like Ross and TJ Maxx for I think like $3.99, really cheap. And so I just needed to refill the new one. I first wanted to wash it out really well and then just refill it with oil. It is so handy sitting right there beside my stove. As I was working to reset my cottage kitchen, I looked out my picture window above the sink and saw that the goats were out, and one goat was making a meal out of some of my flowers. So I had to quickly abandon my kitchen work and run out and take care of getting the goats fed and back in their pen. Living on our 20-acre property, we have a lot of limbs blowing out of trees on a regular basis. In fact, we have trees completely falling over on a regular basis. But I have had the desire to turn a lot of the limbs into mulch, and we have been talking about a mulcher and maybe a really high-powered mulcher for the bigger tree limbs. But I wanted just something simple that I could have handy close to the garden. And so I ordered this one off of Amazon, and I'm really happy with how it chops up these little limbs and produces some mulch for my garden. I am happy with it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm definitely going to be spreading this mulch in the garden. And I will leave the link for this mulcher in the description below. Here I am painting the peg rails that I bought at Ikea. I am not really a painter and I made some mistakes, but in the end I am delighted with how the peg rails look on the wall. It did take several coats of the paint to finish off the peg racks to go under my kitchen cabinets, and I was so delighted when on Mother's Day my husband hung them for me, and I think I'm really going to enjoy throughout the different seasons hanging different little decor pieces on the pegs. Another gift to me on Mother's Day is my husband hung the gold rod that I also have to hang decor. This is the rod that I got at Ikea with the little hooks, and it is very versatile. I can hang tea towels or tiny baskets or tiny little kitchen utensils, but I think I'm really going to enjoy having both the peg rack and the rod for little home decor pieces in my vintage cottage kitchen. I was delighted to see that this little strainer fits well in my farmhouse sink, and I think once the garden vegetables start rolling in, this will be so nice for spraying them off. And I also looked at the bags, the little net bags that I got at Ikea, and took some time to put my lids and rings in those, and I was so happy with how many fit in each bag. I used the smaller bag for the lids and the larger bag for the many rings that I have. I had previously just put the lids and the rings in this plastic bag, and that was just thrown into my pantry in such a disorganized mess. I think that these little bags are going to be great. My plan is to take them into the new pantry and maybe put a little nail in the canning shelves that were built and just let them hang there. And whenever I'm doing some canning, I can go and just grab these little bags and bring them out to where I'm doing my canning. And when I'm done, I can hang the little bags back on the canning shelves. I think this is going to work beautifully. I am so excited. And I can always go back to Ikea and get more of these little bags. They were super cute and super cheap. And I'm just glad to have my rings and my lids separate now and in a way that feels orderly. And you can see here I have all these different kinds of lids. I have a brand, I believe it's called Superb. It's from Ohio and from the area where our house is there in Amish country. That is our VRBO vacation house that we rent out. And then I have some ball lids that came in little Ziploc bags in Amish variety stores back in 2020 when you couldn't find canning lids. I got some like that, and then I have some of the Care brand, Kerr, I believe, that I can just get at Walmart. I have really quite the assortment of different canning lids, and this is just getting me excited for the garden harvest and to begin filling those mason jars. I do feel like it is such a satisfying feeling to can food in jars and pull those jars out of the hot water in the big pots and just see the fruit of my labor. During the long process of building out our vintage cottage kitchen, I shopped some sales at Hobby Lobby. I shopped an end of the spring season sale and bought a lot of things to hold on to for the time when our kitchen would be finished. And one theme that I bought a lot of was the yellow lemon theme. And I thought now with late spring, early summer approaching that this would be a neat time to put out some of the lemon things that I've been holding onto. So here you can see me just putting some little decorative touches and freshening things up for the warmer days ahead. As this video comes to an end, I just want to thank you for visiting me in my vintage cottage kitchen, and I hope that in some way I have encouraged you, instead of looking at the overall big overwhelming picture, to look and think about what is the next right thing and do that. Please remember to like and subscribe so that you can see future videos that come out, and I hope we can visit again real soon. Have a blessed day.